Death Stranding, The Last of Us Part 2, Marvel, Spider-Man, and Ghost of Tsushima. They will all be on stage. And who knows, maybe more, but somebody said at least those 4 games are going to be a big focus tonight. But before we do that, we got Ninja over there with Ali A teaming up in all things Fortnite. So, Tyler, how we doing? We're dropping in here?
We're just loading in.
Okay, good.
Thinking where we're going to drop.
Take it over, you and Ali. First time you guys together in the same room.
Ever.
2 of YouTube's biggest Fortnite players.
It's actually, yeah, we are. Yeah.
We're making things happen here. So, guys, take us through. What do we got?
100%.
Dropping in.
For the sake of YouTube. The Fortnite, yes.
YouTube Fortnite superstar team. All-star team right here.
We'll hop out right here. This is it, man. Say it again? Oh yeah. This is it. This is the spot. I feel like every time they come to us, like I'm just getting into the game, and no one usually lands this far. So it's like there's like no action every single time we're showing the gameplay.
Come on, you dumb camera.
Actually, I think we might have someone here. No, they're coming. They're coming. Yeah, we got a team here. They're gonna be at the temple.
Yeah, I see him. They've landed car building. Nice. You good?
Nope. Oh man. Alright, that was it. We're good now. 7 HP, dude. Not even close.
I got your med kit.
You do? Nice. Just drop it in the center, I'll come to it.
Cool. Oh, nice.
Come on, give me a jug.
Oh.
Bandages.
2 mid.
Oh, dude, I'm coming. Try to stay alive.
Oh, 7.
Where is he?
He's on me. Nice.
Bro. Here, climb out a little. Actually, won't really matter.
I've got minis.
Oh, nice. I see the medi. That was close. I nailed it.
3 has not started yet, apparently.
Late.
I aim for 7.
Bruh. Yeah, bandages here, so pop those minis. You can either drop one.
Yeah. Do you want that AR?
Oh, I have a blue burst, I'm right.
Okay.
And there's still a lot of spots left I feel like unlooted, so. Oh, yeah, medkit free here.
Oh, spare one?
Yeah, right.
Nice. Thank you. Can I grab that pump?
All you.
They knew we were landing here. 2 teams came in.
Dude, there was a super far stretch too, which is really weird.
How close are we to looting everything?
We're pretty close, honestly. We can head northeast right now and just go to the temple.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're already in the zone, which is nice. What do you think about the llama changes, man?
I think it was too harsh.
I agree.
Why 200? Like, I think it was cool that if you found a llama and you found a legendary vending machine, you could get anything you wanted.
Right. So it makes no sense to me why they would nerf something that is so rare.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
You find 3 a match, or there's only 3 a match, and not to mention there's the ability of them spawning so far on the outside of the map that no one will find them.
I get that, like, you end up with a lot of rockets at the end.
Well, rockets is different. I get that. But, like,
the
materials is what's so nutty. so insane to me. Such a massive change. Okay, we're gonna go from 500 to 200.
I think they need to bring it back up.
I think
Epic Games, listen to us.
Right, I was saying like 250 in solos, 400 in duos, and then 500 in squads.
See, that makes sense.
Right. I mean,
just like you get different ammo for when you pick it up in different modes. So.
Right. And then also, I love how they go from the trap damage doing 125 to 75. 100.
I think we both tweeted the same thing that day, saying it should be like 100, right? Just
100 and just why not 100? Perfect. Oh, hey, speaking of the devil, dude!
Yo, you find one?
What? I could explain. What's up, dude? Boom. A mini for
nice.
Here.
Grab that. Actually, yeah.
All you. I'm gonna drop you some.
Thank you, man. Now we're looking 33 left.
Oh, we're good, man.
We're good.
I dropped the blue burst just now.
Nice.
I'm dropping a med kit if you can carry it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got that.
One more minis back here.
Do you still use the burst a lot? Because I know I tune in and you've used that blue a lot.
It's still super strong. Like it's always been strong, but I'm starting to find that just like the ARs are just always more dominant.
I think so. Yeah.
The ability to just spray your opponents down.
Yeah.
Right. With the building is like what I like with the burst, which you can do a little bit easier than with the AR is kind of like with a wood wall. If someone's hiding and they're doing the spam.
Yeah.
You shoot it twice with 2 bursts. And then you shoot a rocket at it, and then right when the rocket's supposed to go through, shoot it one more time, and it fades in before they can put another wall.
I get you.
It's a lot easier to set up than with an AR.
I guess with the auto AR as well, you can do the old peek shot where like you crouch shoot. I can't pull it off very well on console, but when you can do it nice, that's nasty, man.
Yeah, it's sick. And with a burst, if you wanted to get the full effect, you would need to like be
standing.
Stand a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Which kind of defeats the purpose.
Yo, there's another llama.
Are you serious? Where?
East 90.
What?
Yeah.
Double llama? I could explain. No,
that's pretty impressive.
You're talking.
You really gonna go through with this?
So I'll ask you, Samurai.
Off point, but it does look more historically accurate than From Software's time.
What I'm really curious about with this one is exactly how grounded it is, because if you look at kind of Sucker Punch's catalog, they have almost a similar trajectory to what Naughty Dog did, where they started out with a cartoon mascot, and then they went slightly more realistic with a kind of an action hero. But in the case of both Sly Cooper and with Infamous, there's like you're just jumping all over the place, you're bounded all over the place. It's not really grounded. Are we going to play as like a flying ninja? Is there going to be wall running? Is this going to be like a gritty Naruto? Or is this going to be like a little bit more down to earth?
I think we're going to get some parkour.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, he was like flying above a horse and kicking a guy in the head. There was some flight in there.
Yeah. Like, I love the Ninja Gaiden series, and I was wondering if it might be, like, slightly Ninja Gaiden-esque. Not necessarily in difficulty, but just, like, jumping around walls and jumping on giant things. Like, I don't know what it's going to be, but in my head, I picture a mech showing up at some point. Ooh, I like that. Huh. Yeah, I don't know why. No, I like it. I really like the idea of it not being this, like, gritty, grounded thing, because that's kind of the vibe that I got from the first, you know, stuff that we've seen. I really like the idea of them blowing that up and it just being crazy. That's what I want.
Well,
yeah.
Speaking of crazy and unexpected, and I guess to a lesser part, mechs, we're also going to see Death Stranding, which is, of course, the first brand new IP from video game auteur Hideo Kojima. This is his first thing he's done since the much publicized departure from Konami. We have no idea what this game is about.
I think it makes perfect sense. It's clearly about no idea. No, you lost me. I'm really excited about Death Stranding. I've said this before. They don't have to show me gameplay. You could release one of these weird trailers every year, and every year I would be like, I love this short film that you've made. I don't know what it means, but I'm very interested in it. And I have this theory that the baby is Norman Reedus.
All right.
And he's protecting the baby in order to protect himself in the future.
I think I'm dying to see some gameplay for this. I have no idea what we're really looking at. Yeah, on the subject of, again, I guess, confusion and not really knowing what's going on, there's also, of course, The Last of Us Part 2, which we've seen two kind of cinematic trailers for. One of them had Ellie playing the guitar. We go, hey, that's Ellie, we know her. The second one had a bunch of brand new characters. What's everyone's take on The Last of Us?
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Well, hot take.
Yeah, and now we're over. No, I think it's a no-brainer. People love The Last of Us so much. I don't even need to see this, you know, I'm going to buy it. It probably applies to all of these games, honestly. It means they've done a good job of marketing. But we want to see gameplay. We want to see how it's improved on the first game. We want to see what that stealth dynamic looks like. And I want to know who I'm playing as well.
And I'm really curious about this theory that, you know, we're going to be able to see Ellie's mom, too. Because it does sound like there's a lot of connections between both what she says and what Ellie says in that first trailer when she says, I'm going to kill them all. You know, it's clearly this vengeful kind of story. What could get her so riled up? But, you know, this connection that she had in the first game to her mom, I imagine that, you know, there's no one from the original game that she's so mad at that she would have that kind of reaction to. So I'm totally into that theory.
Not that we know where he is either. Like, I'm curious about that too. And from what we've heard about this game, it sounds like the first one was a game that was sort of more about love, and this one is more about hate. And I really wonder how that's going to make everyone feel about Ellie as a character who we grew to love because she was so innocent and naive, and maybe this time she's a lot more hardened, and that's going to be a tough transition for them to make, I think. Yeah.
Well, it makes total sense. Sorry, it makes total sense because at the end of the game, she has this turn where she's just kind of realizing, like, even this father figure in Joel kind of betrays her. Yeah. And I'm sure that'll harden her. And a world like The Last of Us, if there's anything that's going to turn your innocence, it's that.
Yeah. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how she is depicted as a 19-year-old. I mean, we really grew to sort of love her in Left Behind as well. We sort of got to know her a little better and on a sort of more intimate level. And I think that we are possibly going to see more of that this time around. But going back to your point, we have to see gameplay tonight. Yeah. There's no way that they're not gonna show us actually how this game plays.
Right. Yeah, one thing that fascinates me is obviously the first game kind of came in as it was sort of a modified zombie story. There's the infection, the cordyceps, and all that. We've seen them for a second in the most recent trailer, but it seems like a much bigger emphasis on the human interactions, which is obviously the thing that people are talking about. And Naughty Dog's a studio that has grown up quite a lot. While we count down the minutes to the PlayStation E3 showcase, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because we will be right back.
The IGN app is the best way to stay up to the minute on what you love. No matter what you play, create the custom feed and filter what you want to watch. Live streams have never been easier to find. With the floating video player on iOS, you can keep watching the live stream as you read other news. World premiere trailers, and the biggest games. Download the IGN app from the iOS or Android stores now. Sign up for notifications and we'll alert you the second news breaks. Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're bringing the memes, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Before you find IGN's awesome content anywhere else online, you'll find it right at home on IGN.com. With IGN First, you'll get a sneak peek at never-before-seen gameplay, exclusive insights from developers, and a whole lot more. NVC Live brings you IGN's Nintendo podcast up close and personal. Engage with other viewers, ask our NBC hosts your burning questions, and become a part of the show. Don't miss out. Find everything first on IGN.com.
Welcome back to IGN Live at E3 2018. We've been talking about the 4 big PlayStation games that Sony is publishing, but that won't be all that they're showing. There will almost definitely be some surprises from other publishers. One third-party title that debuted famously on Sony's stage 2 years ago is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Will we finally get an update? Let's find out.
In its wake came an age of silence, but let us embrace whatever it brings. For they are coming back.
We haven't seen Final Fantasy VII Remake in a very long time. It was originally announced at E3 2015, and it's sort of gone radio silent. The last big news that we got about it was May of 2017, when Square announced that they would be taking development internal. They were originally partnered with CyberConnect 2, but now they've taken the whole game and moved it to an internal development team, which leads me to believe that they're probably starting over from scratch. Simply put, the reason why we're excited for this game is because it's Final Fantasy VII. This is one of the biggest and most important games of all time. The idea that they would reboot this game with the graphical fidelity and the power of the PlayStation 4 behind it is exciting to people who are Final Fantasy fans like myself, and the populace at large that never got an opportunity to play it. Now, the original Final Fantasy VII was a PlayStation exclusive, but obviously we've seen Square Enix port some of their big franchises like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts to other systems. So we may see Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4 as well as Xbox and PC. Now, as much as I would love to see Final Fantasy VII Remake make a huge reappearance at E3 this year, I just don't think it's going to happen. Square has been radio silent for too long, and it just seems like maybe they're taking their time to do a really important, really big re-reveal, but it might be too soon.
At last, the promise has been made.
Yeah, I definitely get the feeling we won't be seeing anything of Final Fantasy VII Remake for quite some time, but I have been proven wrong, so that being said, let's talk a little bit about some of the other stuff we might get to see.
My one thing I really want to see out of the show, aside from that Big 4, is another one that is kind of up in the air and has been for a long time. Where is the Resident Evil 2 remake?
Yeah.
Come on, Capcom.
I firmly believe we're going to see it.
Yeah?
I don't know whether it's incredible wishful thinking, but I just had this feeling that this is the year we're going to see it. And, I could not be more excited.
No.
I could not be more excited. Like, I want it debuted on the Sony stage. I want to see gameplay. I just, Capcom's gonna bring the goods.
I'm also just very, very curious about how it's going to look, especially after the dramatic change of Resident Evil 7. And I have to say, when that was announced, I was like, it's first person, I don't like it, it's not Resident Evil, and then I played it and it was like, oh, no, it is. No, you guys did a good job of this. So I'm really wondering if it's going to be first person. It is a complete remake, and maybe if it'll have PSVR integration. It honestly seems incredibly unlikely to me that they would release it without the PSVR component, meaning they kind of have to make it first person.
That's just so crazy to me.
I know,
because, when you think about the awkward sort of angles that Resident Evil 2 was shot, I can't sort of imagine taking that into a first-person world.
I mean, it'd have to be a full remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you really would have to, reimagine new spaces.
That makes me think of Metal Gear Solid 2 Twin Snakes on GameCube, which added the first-person component from Metal Gear Solid 2, but broke the game because it didn't change the architecture, so there were,
They'd have to completely reimagine the architecture.
Yeah.
Which is just, that blows my mind.
Maybe that's why it's been so long since we've heard about it, that it's, changing everything from the ground up, but I don't know necessarily what I want. The nostalgia in me says, oh, I want it to look the same and just be pretty, and I don't want it to change, but they really did prove me wrong with the Resident Evil 7. The way that it felt like Resident Evil. It felt like finding weird symbols and keys that unlock certain doors. It still felt like that true Resident Evil experience, much more so than a lot of the previous games that were more action-oriented, so I I think they could kind of show me whatever at this point, and I'll be like, all right, just don't have that weird part like you did at the end of Resident Evil 7 where it got boring.
Yeah.
Everything else is great.
But I think you're right, like, you know, when it comes to sort of PSVR, obviously Sony, that's still a thing for them. That's still something that they have to focus on. And the marriage of those two things will bring long-time Resident Evil fans to PSVR in spades. I will be getting a PSVR unit if it's
for Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, just
I
for
think
Resident
a part
Evil
of it, like coming off of us talking about Final Fantasy 7, is the thing is we haven't heard anything about RE2 in a while, so it seems like they can make a hard new reveal and everyone will be really excited. With RE7, not RE7, with Final Fantasy 7, we last heard that it was going to release sometime before 2023 and that they were sorry, but that wasn't too long ago. They just hired someone who's working on battle systems. So, you know, the fact that we've heard news about Final Fantasy 7, to me, indicates that it might be a little bit further off. The fact that we haven't heard anything about Resident Evil 2 in way too long makes me think it's time to hear something.
Well, the last thing we heard was that Capcom had updated the, was it the trademark or the domain names or something?
The domain name, yeah.
Resident Evil 2. So that's hopeful.
That's something.
Like, we're clinging on at this point.
Yeah. No, you updated your domain, which you have to do annually, please.
Well, I still have the domain for FinalFantasy7.com. Head over for all the updates. Let's see. Moving on. Another big, huge sort of HD remaster that was announced the same year as Final Fantasy 7, I believe, was, of course, Shenmue 3.
It is so not going to happen, but I would love for it to happen. It debuted, 3 years ago at E3. We haven't seen a ton of it, and I think the last big trailer that we actually saw, people kind of had a lot of negative things to say. A lot of the facial animations were pretty stiff, which honestly is a little bit of a Shenmue staple anyway. But they came out and they said that they actually hadn't put facial animations in, and maybe it is a situation where they were being incredibly transparent and decided to release what they did have anyway. And so I'm just really keen on seeing it again to really put that to the test.
I didn't keep up to date with it. How did the Kickstarter go?
Oh, 6 million plus. It
broke
records at the time.
So
yeah, it was really impressive. So that's why it just seems like the future is pretty bright for it if they have all that cash, right?
Yeah, and they also announced that they're doing HD remasters of 1 and 2, which I think I think those have release dates, I feel like. Maybe. I think Sega just announced that they're going to be coming to PC, which I don't know if that was public information or not, but they're making an effort to put more of their games on PC.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I the thing is Shenmue is just sort of a lot of people talk about it.
I've never played Shenmue. What's the catch for you?
Okay, so it's kind of like a situational thing, because at the time it was groundbreaking. Like the whole open world, you can go and interact with so many people, you can open every drawer, there was just so much that you could do. You could live in Shenmue.
You can open drawers?
Yeah.
I love it how those little things stick in your memory.
Like one of my favorite things about GTA 5 is people hiding from the weather with newspapers. Those touches in the world are really important.
It's the really small details, and I think now that that's kind of more formalized or more set standards for it, I would love to see a modern version of that and see what they do. And I love the story, and I love all the things that you could do, from those big harbor combat fights to forklift racing. All of that needs to come back.
Well, one game that I'm really looking forward to hearing more about, this is sort of a moot point because it has a release date. It's coming out in August, and it's kind of a successor to the Shenmue games. Yakuza Kiwami 2.
You like Yakuza?
I am a big fan of Yakuza. It wouldn't surprise me if this popped up on Sony's stage, but really, it's very much a known quantity. Yeah. This is, of course, it's stupid to be like, what are you excited about seeing on this show? Oh, I'm looking forward to the remake of the game from 2006.
Well, the Yakuza franchise is actually nailed coming out with releases and getting hype around every single one of them. There are a lot of Yakuza games at this point, and they're all really, really well received. They are very, very fun, kind of insane open worlds. They get pretty crazy.
Yeah, they had a big push in 2001 with the first one. They localized it all. They had a bunch of, I think Mark Hamill voiced Majima there. They put a bunch of people in it, and it came out, and it kind of just landed with a thud. It wasn't a huge hit in the West. And I feel like they've, with the PS4, really pushed to try to get fans in the West, and
they've always had a presence at PSX and everything, so it's definitely a thing they're focusing on. And I'm just going to jump off this conversation and say that I would really love Sleeping Dogs 2. Probably not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Would be cool if it did.
Yeah. Now, we did get a brand new announcement from Software, Lucy. I know you're looking forward to something else, though.
Okay, so if you'd asked me the day before yesterday if I thought Bloodborne 2 could be a thing that was announced tonight, I would have said yes. But then, obviously, Microsoft announced Shadows Die Twice, which is being led by the core team at From Software. So I think that a Bloodborne 2 announcement is unlikely.
You can't make Bloodborne 2 without Miyazaki without making people mad.
Exactly. It's not going to be made without Miyazaki, and it really sounds to me like when he said, I'm kind of disinterested in doing more Souls at the present time, you know, he meant Bloodborne as well. So that kind of breaks my heart. Yeah. But listen, there could be a surprise. I mean, it's a very slim chance that it could be announced, but they could just be like, oh, also, we've had this in the can for a while.
I wonder if part of the strategy, knowing that people really wanted Bloodborne 2 to actually debut it on the Xbox stage when it comes to Shadow Die Twice, was to make people not expect Bloodborne 2. So that people didn't go into the conference and end up disappointed when it wasn't there.
That's my very, hopeful take.
Yeah.
I just, obviously last year when it was teased, when Shadows Die Twice was teased, and there was that image of this character's bloodied prosthetic arm.
I thought it was like a torture
and everyone
thing.
was like, oh, it's a torture thing from Bloodborne 2.
It's like a bully. It's just like that was such a strange reveal.
It was like 3 seconds and everyone lost their minds.
Yeah, it was a super Kojima-like reveal, actually. But, yeah, I mean, I have my absolute fingers crossed that we would see Bloodborne 2. I think it's
Every
time.
single finger? You have all of your fingers crossed?
All of my fingers crossed at once.
Wow.
That we are going to return to Yharnam. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Do you really want a Bloodborne 2, or do you just want another Soulsborne game that takes that formula and tweaks it yet again?
I want Yharnam. I
Yeah.
want Bloodborne 2. I want to return to Yharnam. I was one of those people that came on board the Soul series with Bloodborne, and then sort of retroactively played the others. So for me, I'm like a Bloodborne, that's Souls for me, that's the heart of Souls, and I know that's kind of sacrilegious to say, and like Souls diehards will be like, you're not a real fan. But like I really, I love Bloodborne, it's my From Software love.
Now, there was a rumor for a second that they were working on a game that was like kind of a Soulsborne with an Aztec influence. Have you heard anything about that?
I actually have not, and I don't.
Tell me more.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it would be Aztec martial arts with the sort of Soulsborne, punishing difficulty from soft mechanic. And
it sounds cool.
I don't know if that's just complete internet nonsense. It sounds absolutely nothing like what we're getting with Sekiro.
Yeah. I'm happy to see that Miyazaki is working on something new and getting to take a break from those kinds of games, and this does look a lot more fluid and the environment traversal than any of his previous games, so he's getting more creative with it. I'm happy for him, but I also every fan out there is like, but where's Bloodborne? And it's a tough spot for them to be in, I think.
Yeah, we're lucky to be getting a new game from Software. From Software. Yeah. We are very lucky to be getting a game from Software.
Then again, it's not totally unheard of that they would bring 2 games, because Avalanche managed to somehow bring 3 open-world games to E3 this year, which is a bit of an undertaking. Hey, you seem like the sort of person who enjoys Twitter, so why don't you hit us up on there? We are at IGN, and you can join the conversation by using the hashtag E32018. Let us know what you think of E3 so far. In fact, do that right now, because we're about to take a quick break, but the PlayStation E3 showcase is starting in a matter of seconds, so seriously, don't go anywhere. This is where it gets really, really good. Hang out.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
I think we can all agree that teamwork is vital to any important partnership. Thankfully, E3 Live 2018 is brought to you by Sicario: Day of the Soldado in theaters June 29th. Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin are teaming up again to fight the cartels, and for one of them, it gets personal. Like friends turned into enemies personal. See what I mean in this exclusive clip.
Turning you loose. How loose? No rules this time.
The assignment is to kidnap Isabel, the daughter of a cartel leader. Try to make it look like another cartel is responsible for the kidnapping.
It's your chance. Get even for your family.
Alejandro's daughter was kidnapped and executed. And here he is kidnapping a young girl who's about the same age.
I know who you are. You're the attorney whose family they killed. And now you hunt them.
Adios. Not they.
My father.
She becomes a pawn in their chess game.
We can't risk her falling into the wrong hands. Clean the scene.
That relationship changes something in him. He starts to have compassion towards the daughter of his enemy. You gotta get rid of her. I can't do that. Good luck. Luck doesn't live on this side of the border.
Okay, so we got you all hyped up about the press conference, which is starting literally any second, but I don't make the rules here. So until then, let's talk about Spyro the Dragon.
Oh, he's a friendly dragon.
What do you think of him? Is he cool?
He's very cool and intrinsically tied to PlayStation, so
Yeah,
I want to
he's such
see.
an icon.
He's such an icon. He's like their second mascot.
He's been through some changes though since he started appearing on Skylanders. He got kind of like ugly adolescent years. He got all scaly and it
I
was
don't
like a little
count
bit
Skylanders.
weird. I don't like the Skylanders games.
Oh,
all right,
well,
but
and that's it. It's the Sony presser. Enough about Spyro. Let's get right into it.
Please welcome Sean Layden.
Hey guys. Good evening everyone and welcome. And thank you for making the time tonight to come to church. This fulfills your obligation for the coming Sunday, for those of you who need to know that. But thank you for coming out. It's great to see the congregation as large as it is tonight under this single tent. And for those of you who may be a bit apprehensive because you remember that movie Kingsman, it doesn't end that way. It doesn't end that way. So, but no, again, thank you. And as you can see from this evening, we've decided to mix it up a little bit in the way that we're doing our E3 presentation this year. You know, we look at what the stories have we tell and the things that we want to impart to our fans here with us and their fans on the live feed worldwide, and that changes our design ideas around what we can do for this show. So tonight we're going to have, rather than a bombardment of new creative, we're going to take all of you on a journey deeper into some of the key titles we've talked about before, but we're going to talk about them in a different way tonight, a deeper way, so you can learn about what's going on with these games and what's coming up in the future. You know, what we look at here at Worldwide Studios with inside Sony Interactive Entertainment, we really want to take our love for gaming and make it sing very loudly. It's a gaming industry, it's sometimes called, but certainly inside our studios, we see gaming as a vocation. It's a calling. It's what we do. It's what we have to do. Our teams of creatives and studios and designers, they have stories to tell and things they want to show you and places they'd like to take you. That's what we're trying to do here at PlayStation. This coming year is going to be all about those kind of games that we can deliver to you in a way that's going to blow your minds. And tonight, we're beginning here in this tent, this church tent we've created here in Los Angeles to let you start that journey with us and let us tell you our stories for the next hour or so. So, without further ado, it is my great honor and my unique privilege to invite to the stage, introduce to you, Gustavo Santaolalla.
Alright, E3. Awesome. Came right on time. E3. E3. Holy crap, no it ain't. It's The Last of Us. Hey, move out the way.
I hate this thing. Tell me about it. Your old man really laid into it there.
What happened?
Another big lecture about my patrols. Don't go here, don't go there. It's funny how involved he gets whenever your schedule go out.
Yeah.
She's putting on quite the show.
I think there's 2 weeks until we got together.
Not gonna happen. She said something to you?
Make it 1 week. Ellie! Hey! What took you so long? Oh, I'm here, aren't I?
Tina?
Jesse.
Hey, don't forget we're near first light, so get some rest.
Yes, sir. Such a dick. Come on. Why don't you start with me? Okay, I have a very serious question for you. How bad do I smell? Like a hot pile of garbage? Oh. Okay. Oh. How about that? Gross. You love it. Every guy in this room is staring at you right now. Maybe they're staring at you. They're not. Maybe they're jealous of you. Just a girl. No, that's right. Ellie. I think they should be terrified.
Oh no! right, The Last of Us.
They are your stupid sinner. What is free? Holy shit!
Holy crap! Go, go, go!
Spread out.
Where's Joel? Where is Joel? Wow. Ellie. Wow.
She went into the garage. Watch yourself. Ethan. What? Wolf. She came through here. Double back. Go.
Oh no! Go! Wow.
I have eyes!
Oh, come on. Seriously? Ah. That's fine. Come on, you gotta be kidding me. Why now?
I told you. He should be terrified.
Where's George?
A bit more to share on that later, and I am joined by my good friend Ryan Clements.
Hello, Mr. Schumann.
How are you?
I'm good. It's such a pleasure to be here at the PlayStation Showcase, and it's going to be a huge night for Worldwide Studios a little later when the showcase resumes. And what better guest to have for joining us about Worldwide Studios than the chairman of Worldwide Studios, Mr. Sean Layden. Hello, sir.
Yeah, good to be here.
I thought you were just on stage. How did you get up here so fast?
We created this pneumatic tube that I was dropped into and shot right across to the studio here.
Right over here. Well, it's good to have you here.
Well, it's great to be here, and I think that was a very powerful start for our E3 program for this year.
That's right. There's much more to come, but I do want to zero in on The Last of Us Part 2 here just for a moment. You know, as chairman of Worldwide Studios, you work very closely with Naughty Dog. These guys need no introduction.
Indeed.
And I'm curious, from your perspective, where is their head at when it comes to developing this game?
Where's their head at? I mean, they are everywhere. They're looking at what can do in the next iteration of the Last of Us series, and I think what we saw tonight, I mean, that piece of content was so impactful. I mean, the whole relationship between Ellie and Dina going into the combat sequence really shows that they're pulling out all the stops over at Naughty Dog, and they're going to have a very broad and ranging game that's not going to make you only work at it as a player, but you're going to have to just think as a person what you're coming up against.
And I can't wait to see more of that. And that was first gameplay we saw there of The Last of Us Part 2, looking obviously incredible. And speaking of incredible, I mean, Worldwide Studios lately, I mean, it's just been unbelievable. Horizon, you had God of War, which needs no introduction, and Detroit Become Human. I mean, what is the secret, and what are you doing over there at Worldwide Studios? What's going on there?
the rule number one is do no harm, right? Right. In a lot of ways, my job is just to move the boulders out of the road to make sure that creative talent can get where they need to go, provide backup, provide scope, provide generalized, advice about where we can take this as an industry and as a gaming culture. But honestly, we've got 13 studios worldwide. We try to give them as much creative control as possible and just help support them through to their vision. That's kind of what we've been trying to do here for the last dozen years or so with Worldwide Studios. And I think right now, that, and God knows my Twitter feed is filled up with a lot of stuff that we can talk about here or not talk about at all, but it's all important. We take it all seriously, and New Game Plus was something that came through really strong and really hard through that kind of feedback loop, and I'm happy to say today that the teams are working on it, and we should have some more updates on that. We'll put that through the blog, but it's going to happen.
All right.
Definitely.
As someone who miraculously finished God of War with a 2-year-old at home, that makes me very happy. I will somehow find more
scary,
time.
but okay.
I will find time to get... He wasn't watching.
Okay, thank God.
I want to confirm that.
Kids don't try to know.
Asleep. But yeah, thank you so much, Sean, and it's great to hear that you and the amazing team at Santa Monica Studio are making that happen.
Hey, if we can create functionality and features that allow people to spend more time in the worlds we build, that's by definition a good thing.
Excellent.
Fantastic. So New Game Plus, that is confirmed. It is coming to God of War. We'll have full details on PlayStation Blog shortly. We have a lot more to talk about, too.
Yeah, and actually, Sean, I wanted to ask you about that. About a month ago, you did something a little bit out of the ordinary for our team, and you kind of came out and talked about the 4 main games that we would be highlighting tonight's PlayStation Showcase. I was wondering what the thought process was there.
Well, every year we try to let the stories we have to tell design the experience we're going to create. And this year we felt that what we really want to do is take people on a journey deep into the content, deep into the 4 big pillar games that we're working on right now, and get them to see a bit more about the stories you're trying to tell and the way it's going to be expressed and what they get out of it. It's a really wide range of titles there, anything from The Last of Us 2, which you just saw right now, through Death Stranding and Spider-Man and Ghost. So this year I wanted people to know that don't come here expecting to have some big flashy new idea come out or some big surprise come out. Come here and sit with us and walk with us as we get through to see the background stories and the deep inside of the games we're working on.
Wonderful. And we do have a lot more coming from those Worldwide Studios games in the showcase later tonight. Do you have any personal games that you're most excited about?
Well, they're all fabulous, and I think the teams are really crushing it right across the board.
Fair enough.
But one thing I would say is there's one of the games that we're having out today that will be playable in 3 months. And available in the stores, and that's our favorite web slinger,
of course,
Spider-Man. So we're going to see a lot of that tonight, and I think the folks at home should be happy with what they're going to get.
Awesome, thank you, Sean.
Sean, thank you so much for dropping by. Always a pleasure to trade notes with the chairman of Worldwide Studios.
It's great to see you guys. I'll head back to the pneumatic tube station now.
All right, please do.
All right.
And
wear the helmet.
We do have a lot more in store coming up in just a few minutes as the E3 showcase continues. But in the meantime, we also have some other updates for you while we wait during this short intermission. So I say we kick it off with a look at the latest from the world of Call of Duty.
Immediate access to back Black Naps in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 only when you pre-order Call of Duty.